there's an expansion, a turning point that's coming through for somebody here, okay? The specific message is someone who, if you haven't recently been going through that Phoenix death portal moment, you currently are. So whatever's taking place and the decisions you're making, they're as a result of you really understanding the journey that you've been constantly, it's like you're shedding skins that serpent, right? It's shedding skins and you're turning into that fire within, into that dragon, and your eye, your third eye, is like, you're just seeing different, truly. And this is what's helping you to really expand and for this turning point to come through. I also feel like there's something about the sacral chakra that you've really been working on. That's why this on her. So it's because I think there was some kind of abundance block, and maybe that was really being pulled on externally. And that's really helping you rise with this energy and welcoming this expansion. And I'm also, that's what it was that was coming through. Better than you've seen. So this is somebody who you've had some kind of vision of where you want to go forward, or you have it in your mind, and what's coming is actually going to be better than you've seen. That's what's coming through. So we'll see what tarot says. Yeah. And I think that's because your vision before, like I said, that third eye, I think you're having some third eye awakenings, truly. But I still feel there's some kind of block in the middle. So let's just find out. Let's find out. It's quite beautiful. The moon, this is the subconscious mind. These are the blocks. And you know, if you're currently watching this, today is the lunar eclipse, like the potent energy of the lunar eclipse in Pisces and that moon to come out, the world, the end of a chapter. That's what this particular card says, yeah? You're really honouring this. I think that right now, oh, this card's here by itself. Oh, a new perspective with the Hanged Man. And then the sun, this is what I mean, like you are learning, like this end of a chapter, because you've gained this new perspective. I think you're coming out of a Phoenix moment, or you're going to be, and whatever that is, you're paying attention. You've truly been paying attention, learning how to cleanse through your system. I'm feeling like this, almost like a peace within, that kind of energy, and that's because of the decisions you're making. So even if like there's still not stillness outside of you, there's going to be something within you that feels so much more centered for you to handle what's happening. This end of a chapter is pivotal. It's gonna, that radiant energy of that sun there, it's like your subconscious mind. It's like you're learning how to master it. You really are. That's where there's been a lot of illusion and confusion. The veils. God, I feel like this lunar eclipse, you might have been poorly, because with the lunar eclipse, you can really, and the eclipse season can really, if you're truly deeply connected, and especially if you're on a divine journey, you usually are truly deeply connected, you've probably been really heavily impacted, maybe even your physical health, right? That can happen often. Seven of Swords, yeah, not what it seems. Things have not been what they seem for a while. And this is where that new perspective is being gained. The Star, wish granted. Wow. I'm also hearing that someone you're connected to might not see what's been going on here. So whatever they're thinking is the situation, is not what it seems. Let's see what comes through. This is really interesting. That Seven of Swords. Yeah, that's really, can often be very, it can go two ways, but sometimes it can be very deceitful, very like getting what I want going, and you know, doing things undercover, very shady, right? Other times it can really be, you know what, going all in for yourself, putting yourself first. All depends on the context, okay? Page of Coins, laying a foundation. Whatever you're doing, I don't know if anybody else realizes outside of you, but you're creating something that's going to be really stable and long lasting. That's your intention, but like I said, you have a vision, but what you're about to receive is bigger than you know, and that's because you're literally devoting to your divine alignment. You're learning how to. That's so beautiful. 10 of Wands in reverse. Laying those burdens down. That's what you're learning how to do. At first you had to process these burdens, which is what it felt like you were going through. The fires, the death portals were real. You phoenixed. My God. I think you're mastering how to phoenix as well, which can just happen multiple times. So yeah, 6 of Wands in reverse. You've tried this before and it's just failed because you weren't in your alignment. And I think that maybe there was a selfishness taking place, and maybe there was some shady energies trying to create this sturdy foundation for what you want moving forwards, and it just constantly kept falling because you were operating from ego, from that kind of Seven of Swords energy that, no, let me get what I want first, you know. I'm not sure if it was from a intentionally negative place, I don't know, but there is something here where you're gaining that new perspective. You're understanding how your subconscious mind was affecting you. Lack of faith. The star came out in reverse. Lack of foresight. Oh my God, these two have come out together. Lack of faith and lack of foresight. And that's really interesting because we're saying you have a vision. So there's clearly something that's changed. Subconscious mind, again, my God, this Pisces energy is huge for you. There's a lot going on in the psyche, or there has been. Maybe you've been learning how to interpret your dreams as well, which in itself is a beautiful skill. I used to love interpreting dreams. Still do. The moon, I just don't offer it as a reading anymore, but okay, so this is where things are changing. That lack of faith, there's something happened where you had a serious lack of faith. Maybe it was a betrayal, maybe you experienced that, and it's like you couldn't see clearly for ages. You couldn't even see what you wanted moving forwards, you know. This is what I mean by that third eye. There's some kind of upgrade taking place. Let's find out. Oh, Queen of Wands in reverse. Oh, my way or the highway. Yeah, ending that. None of this anymore. Queen of Wands in reverse. My way or the highway. She has a shadow side too, and yeah, no more of that. Like I said, that selfish energy that's coming through. Lack of lack is what I'm seeing here. But that's where you're gaining a new perspective. You're learning your new direction. Gosh, you have lacked direction for a while, it feels like. And I think again, it was because the subconscious was ruling, right? And it was kind of like, when your subconscious mind is ruling you to an extent that even if you see something ahead, there's all these blocks in the way, so you don't see it as your direction. You don't see that's your passion, that's where your heart's calling you, that's where your soul is saying this is your alignment, go there. Because you have all these blocks in the way. Six of Swords, better times ahead. Okay, let's find out. You've really been going through it. Harmony restored, much better, and that's to do with that Seven of Swords. So whatever feels like it's not what it seems, you're gonna be bringing it back into alignment, you know, or at least some kind of stability, you know, so that it doesn't feel like a lost cause is what I specifically heard there. I think that maybe you're not proud of how you've acted. You want to restore that harmony. I think that was at a time where you did lack faith and direction, and there was just a lot of, it's like you were looking inside, which is is a beautiful thing to do, but you were doing it in a way where you were disregarding everything on the outside, including other people, which clearly is something you want to set straight here. Okay, so we've got two cards here. Got Justice, and then we've got the Eight of Coins. That's really interesting. So that's to do with that Page of Coins. So you really are putting in the work right now, but I think you're doing it from a place of guilt. So wherever it is, you need to be mindful that when justice is being set straight, it's kind of, it doesn't feel like an obligation or something where you're still holding shame over it or guilt. That's still something that needs to be healed, because otherwise you can work and work and work and it's never going to be enough. You're never going to see clearly what it is that's behind that shadow in that mirror. So that's being mindful of that one. What are you creating the foundation for, right? God, these cards are just like, what is going on? Maybe this is how you're feeling right now, or your mind or something. This is where that new perspective is being gained. Okay, let's see. King of Wands, Nine of Cups, and the Page of Swords. Okay, this is where you're learning. You're learning way more about yourself. You might have been a natural born leader. You might have been quite charismatic. Maybe you're quite magnetic and, you know, attractive or whatever it is. And, I think there's just something about you where you like to take the lead. Like maybe you like to dominate or whatever it is. But you like to be seen for it as well. You have had a lot of need for this external validation, whoever this energy is, and it's left you feeling hollow. It has not fulfilled you emotionally at all. This is where you've really wanted to understand what's been going on. This is where you've really been learning about the pride within, the ego within. So the whole ego situation, I think that's some really new knowledge for you, really understanding that ego, because I feel like you can't understand how you've achieved all this, but how do I still feel so empty? That's literally what it is. And that's with that Six of Wands in reverse, parried before fall. It's a fall may not have been externally. Maybe you did externally, have some losses, but certainly within, it was just this lack of this fulfillment. Your heart just wasn't fulfilled. But Ten of Wands again at the bottom of the deck in reverse, laying the burdens down. Whoever this is, for a long time, they lacked their higher level foresight, that third eye that was coming through. because they were, whatever they were trying to build, it was coming from a place of lack anyway. Wherever it was that internal wounding, I'm feeling that root and sacral especially, and that's solar. So there's all three chakras. It's like you're trying to find that stability in that root chakra. Yes, maybe you got it right, but there's this still this constant lack of self-worth that was being like worked on. You know, you're having to do more so that you can feel worthy externally, and it's just because of that lack of fulfillment, it wasn't making you, you know, there was no, like, the faith wasn't there. Okay, so this is the Hermit. It came out like this. So it's okay, spiritual master. I feel like this is you going from self-absorbed energy, like just me that was coming through, to spiritual mastery. You're understanding your journey. This is where you're going to be gaining more faith because you're understanding your subconscious mind, you're understanding your journey and the spiritual elements of what it is that you're going through. Okay, this is where you learn how to create foundations from a more heartfelt space, and where actually it's not just about you, it's about collective energies. Yeah, the King of Coins and the Five of Swords. Okay, so this is interesting because King of Coins here is an ultimate provider, it says, you know, and King of Pentacles is, but I think this is where the end of a chapter with me or the highway is kind of the ultimate provider. Once he's generous, he has more than enough to give. And this Five of Swords, I think this is where you're learning how to do things from a less conflicted space. You're learning who you are. Ace of Swords, you're gaining more, again, more clarity, more insight, where you used to operate from that ego space towards actually, how can I ground this down within myself now? It's not just about me and everything has to be on me, the light's on me, I am the sun, whatever. It's kind of like, hold on, there's a more holistic approach here. I'm here for something bigger here. There's other people, there's other parts involved, whatever it is. No longer constantly just battling, trying to be the one on top and wanting to be seen like that, where you just end up, it's kind of like that hollow feeling comes from just not being validated, because it never was going to validate you. It was just feeding your ego. Something so much more deeper beneath the surface with that beautiful moon energy. King of Cups in reverse. My goodness, emotional immaturity. Yeah, that's where that lack of direction was coming from. This is where you're gaining that new perspective. It's been taking a while, I will say, with the Hanged Man. Someone here really emotionally, and I think maybe they even knew that I think maybe they got away with this a lot, especially with that King of Wands. They got away with being like this. People fed into their ego. Gosh, they definitely have something about charisma, charm, or good looks, whatever it is that just attracts and magnetizes certain kinds of people into their vicinity, that just fed into their ego and let them carry on like this. Gosh, but again, it was coming from that subconscious, which is where they're gaining that mastery now. Okay, Knight of Swords in reverse. They were out of the depth. So when they were acting in that Seven of Swords shady ways, because it feels like this is this person acting in those really shady ways and, you know, doing things their way and maybe being a bit deceitful or whatever, they were way out of their depth. They couldn't handle what was happening. This is where they want to restore that harmony. They want to bring balance back. I feel like they struggle with this internally in their mind as well. Again, that guilt and shame is coming through. The Empress, right? She's come out like this. So this is something to do with that feminine energy within. I think this is about how somebody wants to work towards this. This is what's coming through now. They want to lay a foundation with and for this Empress, or whatever this connection is that they want to restore harmony in, but they feel guilt. That's why. They're blaming themselves. This is that feminine energy, you know, you got the divine feminine, but it's like their inner feminine has been out of balance for a long time. Why? Because they haven't healed. They didn't for a long time, or you, whoever this is, heal through those energies that were coming through, guilt and shame within the sacral and the solar plexus, right? Learning how to balance yourself. So that ego, someone's learning how to balance it. They're learning how to come back into themselves, their center, how to truly be a leader, because there's more than enough leaders that operate from power, needs for power, need for control, you know. Someone's learning that it's not about that. Yeah, the Ten of Wands in reverse did come out, but so did the Five of Cups. So it's something about it's kind of like learning how to release the changes that need to take place within and without, right? So when somebody releases this emotion, like the sadness and the grief over whatever it is, I think also that guilt and blame truly they can really, really begin to find their direction. They can really begin to lay those burdens down. Right, I'm just going to get another one. There's so much internal stuff happening here in this psyche. The throat chakra as well. I don't think someone's spoken about this for, actually, I don't know if they've ever spoken about this, right? Where they have that lack of faith, and yeah, 5 of coins, they felt left out in the cold. That's why they've had a lot of lack internally, because whatever happened that affected their subconscious mind from a young age just manifested into this. But this judgment call, they've had so many judgment calls, but this is a time where they're finally heeding the call. They're learning how to slow down and recognize the adjustments that need to take place and how they can balance themselves as this happens. Left out in the cold. Wow. I think they're feeling the after effects of whatever it's like I'm feeling that karmic energy, you know, their own karma, their wheel of karma. They're feeling it. 5s are important here as well. Yeah, look at that. Just as I said that the rings, number 25, that is literally karmic closures as well, but it's also the beginning of new cycles. Okay, so an agreement, a pact, a cycle, a promise. This could also be where they were deceitful to what they spoke to someone. Closure of this karmic cycle as well. They want to be someone you can be trusted, but how can they be with all of this, which is why they're feeling that guilt. Okay, reaping what you sow though. This is what I mean. There's something about this. As they're processing this, there is something coming through, and we've got this beautiful waterfall, abundant overflow. So there's definitely this energy of an emotional release taking place, and this is where they're going to get that fulfillment. Maybe there is somebody who has been crying tears over this, but they're going from crying to tears of joy. That's what this is literally saying. So they know what they want, and it's not what they thought they wanted before. Like I said, their vision ahead is changing, and it's what they're going to be receiving once they release this egoic way of existence. The fulfillment they're going to feel is like nothing they've known before, because it's not. Okay, yeah, dominoes, number 13, strategic planning. They are very strategic. That's how they've been able to get away with being so shady in the past, right? But this is more about, cause and effect. They're feeling the effect of what they caused, okay? But there is this energy of gaining momentum. So there's a chain reaction. Someone's learning how to be precise in what they're doing from their heart space more. I think there's something about that anyway. I think, again, that balance with that feminine energy within. And there's progress. Third person at the bottom of the deck. There might have been a lot of external influences that were keeping someone feeling like this, okay? See what else? Yeah, avalanche. Major force, uncontrollable, chain reaction. They're feeling this. Wow. They might have truly experienced what felt like a wipeout, external force, sudden. Building momentum. Wow. I think they're going to be building momentum in the right direction this time. Okay. That lack of direction from emotional immaturity. It's kind of like it's going to be doing a 180, right? Yeah, snake, that makes sense. Number 7, and that was that this is that sexual energy as well. So maybe that is that sacral that was coming through, where someone was blocked in it. Betrayal, backstab, toxic, silent treatment. They might have done the whole silent treatment thing that they're feeling guilty over with this Empress. Counterproductive, seduction, sexuality, jealousy, deception. Maybe they are quite jealous, and this is where this is also like fueling them wanting to restore harmony. Wow. I think they're really healing through a lot of inner wounds right now, whoever this is. I think particularly for this energy that's coming through, the turning point is actually them realizing where they themselves have been creating certain situations, because they're now feeling the effects of it. Wow. I think this is where the unwelcome changes, because they're having to face themselves. This is what's helping them to expand. Yeah, divine intervention. There's been something here. Some kind of divine intervention. 16, double rainbow. Ascension. This is coming in perfect timing, whatever this is. Truly, they felt like they were out of the depth when it comes to emotions, because they hadn't for a long time addressed this. This is what they're being forced now, divine intervention, to address. And this time they're heeding the call instead of repeating this, right? promises kept, duality as above, so below. This is what I meant by, I think they said something before and they didn't keep that promise or whatever it is. Wow. There could be someone you feel like you don't know who you're going to get, which version of them you're going to get sometimes. And I think they're also facing that split about themselves. You know, are they going to be warm and this radiant energy, or are they going to be cold and cut off suddenly because their emotions are triggered and they don't know how to handle and heal through that? Which isn't really a nice space to be in with someone, especially in connection. Yeah, oh my God. Sky. I think that's how you say it. Number 10. Letter J could be important. Sudden, unexpected, accident, cut. Maybe they've had some kind of something like that. Cut, release, harvest, liberate, shock, ripping off the band-aid, surprise, a reckoning. I think this is what's happened in their life. And I actually think it's quite mirroring of what they might have caused in the past, because that was coming through. There's someone who just cuts off, like this energy, like just cuts off or out of nowhere, you know, emotionally just goes silent. That silent treatment was coming through. Oh, that's not nice to experience that. It's really, that is emotional immaturity. You're not handling the situation from an emotionally mature space. You're not trying to, you know, heal or whatever. You're not facing your own triggers, basically. And to feel be on the end of that is, that's not nice at all. And that can actually mentally mess with someone, like, especially if you're going through your own stuff. But again, that's everyone's healing journey. So you have to face yourself and ask yourself those questions. You know, where are you outsourcing? How can you bring your power back to you? And maybe that's what this Empress had to do as well. Gosh, someone's really having to face them. Feels very karmic. Rider. Okay, number 1, 9 September. Messenger, there's movement. This is what I mean. There's progress again, that progress. There's definitely progress. And it doesn't feel like progress to this person right now because they're in the depth of like that emotion where it's not a happy emotion because they haven't addressed it for such a long time. But it's going to change. As they're here processing this, there's going to be progress forward. So they can feel those better emotions without feeling hollow, like it's just surface level, fake or whatever, false illusion, right? Delivery, goals. Maybe you're getting some kind of delivery. Green light, progress. Yeah, we said that. Full speed ahead. There could be some kind of news coming through as well. Maybe you're getting a visitor. I'm seeing like this energy of having tea together or something. Cute. Okay, let's see. What else is coming through? Such an interesting reading. Detour. With the messages coming through, I feel like someone needed a reminder, like you're actually doing the right thing right now. This is yet another moment for you to have to feel those emotional depths so you can rise from them and also experience what it is that other people have experienced because as a result of whatever your choices were too. Yeah, detour, 30. So I think this is someone who they wanted to move forward, but they've had a lot of detours. They had to rethink their priorities. There's been a turn of events. There's been obstacles, external forces, again, setbacks, delays. They've had to really adjust, okay? But again, I feel like there's some kind of divine intervention about that. They couldn't carry on the way they were going. They needed to find their true north, their path of purpose that they've been avoiding for so long because they're avoiding themselves. That's that end of chapter, truly. Psychic came through for a reason. The psyche, I was going to say, there's something about the psyche that they're really processing. Maybe they are quite tapping. That third eye was coming through. They've been blocked for a long time. Communication, the bridge. This is again restoring harmony, that energy of restoring harmony, number 12. Uniting, communicating, connecting, integrating, collaborating, sharing, overcoming those barriers. So whatever the details have been, someone's overcoming them to really move forwards. And it's a very much an internal job. Learning how to face that vulnerability within. And not just keep carrying the heaviness of it forwards. And transmuting it into your strength. Okay. Yeah, walking boots. Number 8. Walking away from this is what's happening right now. Exploration, right? They're taking the steps. And this is very much, again, a personal journey to pursue their own path. Freedom, independence from whatever this is that was keeping them stuck in these ways, okay? They're learning their heart. Gosh. Foggy glasses. This is what's coming through. I feel like this is to do that guilt and shame. Number 20, distorted view, muddled, mental fog, forgetfulness, obscured, willful ignorance, negativity, clouds judgment, lacking clarity, confused. Because I think that when we move towards an Empress, you're going to have to, that inner divine feminine energy needs to be cleared through, need to be seeing things clearly. More than this, yeah, you're going to be, whoever this is. Number 7, lighthouse, your inner guidance system, learning how to trust your inner self. Now that someone's clearing through like the lack that they've been experiencing, they're going to be able to really trust what's coming through to them, right? It's a safe passage. They're their truest compass. They're their own compass. They just have to look within the right direction instead of being led by that deceptive, shady energy that was coming through, right? Gaining clarity, again, navigating obstacles. Beautiful. There's illumination coming, and this is going to be much more secure moving forwards, okay? Safe passage. Okay. And this is because they're learning truly about what's been holding them in that egoic space and just not fulfilling them. These were two, I weren't going to take these, but there's a girl here and there's a clover. So definitely some kind of new beginning that's going to feel really positive. Just be mindful that it's not just a moment, you know what I mean? Like a quick thing. Masculine energy at the bottom of the deck. Could be a birth of a daughter as well. Someone might have experienced some kind of, that kind of energy that's really helping them heal through their feminine energy. That's beautiful. Number 6, sunrise. Happy beginning, new day, darkest before dawn. Yeah, they're going to ride into that sunrise, but the obstacles overcome, again, another confirmation. They're getting clarity and they're paying attention this time, okay? Awakening, yeah, they're going through an awakening. A fresh start, the problems are ending, there's hope ahead, okay? And the tracks, they're on point, you're in the right direction. Number 3, steady, forwards movements, one way, that's it, going forward now. This is a return way, you know what I mean? A return, going the distance, direct route. No more detours, no more stopping off here and being distracted over there and causing disharmony. Traveling, someone could be traveling. That focal point again, but I don't think it's as clear. I think they're being guided, the inner guided system is really being beautifully cleared through so they can hear it. But again, that very much, that forward picture, I think that's going to be some kind of it's going to be like a divine gift, truly, because of this work they're putting in and really putting in that work now, okay? See what else. Yay, fireworks, celebration. Be mindful again of that sexual energy that's coming through. This is someone who clearly, especially with the King and Queen of Wands here, a lot of like sexual energy is this could be this connection as well that's like came through a bit as well. We're looking at that as well. Passion, chemistry, lust, desire, kiss, celebrate, happiness, exhilaration, new year, excitement, explosive, hot sex. There could have been someone's birthday as well recently or something. That's really ignited this like deeper inner investment, you know, not just being led by, again, that data-driven external, yeah, just as I said, that success, recognition, fame. But I think this feels more positive. With that celebration card, I think someone's really doing well. They're going to be laying down those burdens quicker than they realise, because they're not taking this shit from themselves anymore. They're not wanting to be this immature self, lacking direction, lacking faith, oh my God, where am I going, that kind of thing. That's not them. They're born a leader for a reason, not to follow, not to have like this egoic, like, you know, energy, but actually to be heart-centered and lead from that. And that's where they're going to get their win, their victory, much better reputation that can be respected, okay? This is a key experience. Whatever this is whatever they're going through right now, it's molding them massively, shaping them, okay? Their goals, again, they're getting much clearer on their goals. They're seeing those much clearly. Deserving an award, ambition, achievement, recognition as well. They're going to be getting some kind of recognition. Anchor, they're becoming way more stable and dependable, just like that King of Coins that came through, okay? Perseverance. This connection that wants to come through, I'm just going to see if there's any guidance here for the connection as well, because clearly that's something that someone wants to really like handle, set right, okay? So let's see. Yeah, free yourself. They're needing to do this first, getting back control of their life, away from whatever it was taken. Like I said, they've experienced betrayal, and I think this really hit them hard. That's what's really created this space within them that's made them act in all these unstable ways, these lacking ways. Again, they're gaining spiritual mastery as a result of this, away from me. Express your love. So they do want to go ahead and make that romantic gesture. They want to speak their truth. They've had detours on the way with this, so they have had detours, so it's not the first time they've tried. And I think it's that internal system again. They've been lacking that foresight, but they're gaining it, forgiving and learning. There's going to be forgiveness. And you're going to have to learn. Okay, so it just says you release and heal the past, you experience more love in the present moment. That's going to have to come with some kind of truth as well, because of that Seven of Swords and then restoring harmony. Every time they wanted to, they felt so after the death, like they're not going to be able to handle what comes next. This is why they're getting prepared, okay? Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. No more this ignoring your emotions. Emotional intelligence here is what someone's gaining. That wisdom, they can handle this. Calling in your person, children. Pay attention to red flags as well at the bottom of the deck. So I feel like there's this energy of being mindful of what it is that you're basing on who and what you want, okay? Because again, that sexual energy that was coming through, that egoic need for validation, that kind of thing. Where's your heart actually telling you, oh my God, reconciliation? It's safe for you to love. Safe for you to love. I think that there's some detail about a child as well. Yes, the inner child and how that's influenced you moving forward. Like, you know, again, that little girl that was coming through. I don't know. It's safe for you to love. Reconciliation's on the deck, so let's see. Yeah, they're learning that love is safe. I think for a long time they didn't feel that. That's why they weren't investing in their own heart space. Oh my God, true love. This could very well be a divine connection then, because that's that card for me. Oh wow, this connection is deep. You two have triggered each other for real. Oh my God. One more. Finances and career. So you could be working on again, that laying that foundation, so learning how to create that stability now. Maybe that's where someone's focus really is. They wanted to make the effort here, and this again, I think they want to come through with some kind of offer here, especially towards that Empress. I'm just going to get some more here to see if there's anything that we need to know for the connection moving forwards, because clearly it's like someone really is preparing. They're ending that old chapter for a reason. Oh my God, the heart and the key. She holds a key to his heart. That's what just came through. 8 and 33. They're realizing that who holds the power over their heart. Like, oof, you know, they're going to be true love. The more they're accessing their heart space, I think this is why they feel so guilty. It's like they're not even experiencing the happiness and joy of this just yet. They're going to be with all these cards, that success and everything, overcoming those obstacles, because they're still in that sadness and that they're really having to deeply feel what they created. Part of the process, they have to, so they can level up, step into their divinity, their divine alignment, their divine path, okay? Solutions, yeah. Intelligence, genius, insight, clarity, open, breakout, liberty, important, paying attention, locking, unlocking, helpful. I've just heard they're going to want to lock in. They will want to lock in. Anything else for this connection moving forward? Maybe you met online, but there's certainly something. I think you're going to, especially that King and Queen of Wands, you're going to be, either you already have some kind of platform, both of you, but together, people are going to know you, or they're going to want to know you. Wow, you're both very magnetic. Interesting. I think actually there's going to be some kind of spotlight on your connection. Feminine energy at the bottom of the deck. Wow, there's going to be some kind of spotlight on your connection, but I actually think it's going to be quite positive. Whatever exposure this is, I think this is going to be part of your path where you both actually have some kind of, this is why I think you already have a platform. That's why it was led by that egoic energy for that King of Wands energy. And maybe even this feminine energy, maybe she was a bit more, you know, like my way, it's got to be my way kind of thing, you know. You're learning that balance within yourselves. I actually think whatever spotlight you're going to have is part of your purpose. It's going to help you to really get at the message that you're here to put out there, which you'll learn as you find these solutions to come back together into that wholeness, into that integration of your safety and your love and your heart space and whatever it is that you've been going through. Oh, look at this. Yes. Sorry, I get the sun. 31. Yes. Energy, power, climax, fulfilled, pride, mindful, both of you. Radiance, success, vigor, divine masculine. Someone's needing to step into that, because that's what this reading feels like it's about. Daytime, vigor, happy, warm. That's felt. That warmth energy is felt from both of you externally, okay? Reconnect to it for yourself from your heart this time, not that ego. This cross is interesting. So this is really, it's destiny unfolding. So whatever losses you're experiencing right now, the sorrow, all of it, feeling having felt the crisis, the trials, all that kind of stuff, it's needed. This is part of what is teaching you who you're here to be. Okay? It's part of your duty, your sole purpose. Your fate is unfolding. I'm just going to get another one so you can understand. So I think your connection has experienced trials. Oh my God. This is for your connection. And have the masculine at the bottom of the deck. Oh, wishes coming true, the stars. 16 and 6. Wishes do come true. You're going to both feel like, wow, this is real. What we've been feeling this entire time. Yes, it's real. And yes, we've got this. And yes, just a miracle, peace, dreams. I think maybe you both did feel like a miracle to each other, but at the time you couldn't really invest in that because you were so like, you know, triggered, hopeful, falling in love again. Inspiration, nighttime. Nighttime might be important for both. You got daytime and nighttime. That's interesting. Maybe you're both a bit, I don't know. Maybe one of you is more daytime, one of you more nighttime. I don't know. That's interesting. Maybe you just want to spend all your time together. It's obviously healthily, you know, healthy boundaries, none of this codependency. Inspiration, providence, dreams. Maybe you're in each other's dreams. I'm just going to get one more, that's all, for your connection. Moving forwards. Really nice. Oh my God, okay, well, 2. Oh. Okay, don't know about that one. Golden ticket, another beautiful one. Now, I'm going to tell you what came through here, but first, golden ticket. This is a turning... Oh my God, it says turning point. That was coming through. So this is it. This is a big turning point. You have to feel through this to get to this point where you have this connection, that yes, the climax energy, the wishes coming true, the God, yes, you know, that energy. You have to go through this, whatever this is. This is a turning point. This is a once in a lifetime. This connection is once in a lifetime. Something special, magical. God, an extraordinary event. I'm seeing this could go like truly high level. Success, again, luck, major opportunities coming through now. What did come through here? Red flag and boomerang, feminine energy. This is about the past returning. Be very mindful. You're going to recognize those red flags. Be mindful who's coming back to you, because there's some kind of warning bell here. So just again, that visitor energy that was coming through, and that detour, someone wants to detour. Maybe they are a bit jealous. Maybe they have their own, you know, intentions internally. Mindful, you're going to have to be mindful. Especially if you two get to that stage, when you get to that stage, what these cards are saying anyway, where you really are going to be like, the spotlight's on you. You might need to be mindful of protecting your connection and each other. Yeah, recognizing where your priorities are, rethinking those priorities, the emotional landscape of yourself, your connection, and each other. You don't have to be so mindful, because it is so beautiful. This is true love, right? So actually, I think you're going to know exactly how to handle it, but just be mindful of that, because it comes before you come together. It comes with how and who you're accepting through right now before you even come into this situation. So we'll see if any timing wants to come through. God, this reading feels really long. I think there's been a lot of heaviness that someone's really needed some reassurance over or something, you know. So the messages come through. Okay, so any timings or any other additional messages that you need to know for yourselves for the connection. I feel like I need to do divine masculine. Divine masculine. What do you need to know? Springtime, Taurus energy. Divine masculine. That says Queen of Earth as well. So maybe there's earth energies here. You got fire and earth coming through, to be fair, here. And water. Okay. Divine masculine. What does divine masculine need to be aware of? Earth, again, earth. Practical, dependable, grounded. They're becoming this. They're unsticking themselves from this chapter of the past and becoming way more dependable. Yes, devil. The Capricorn. I knew this was coming through. Virgo at the bottom of the deck, Hermit. That's that spiritual mastery again, but moving away from self-absorption, which is creating this constant addiction, restriction, materialism, the shadow self. You're really going through this shadow self, this divine masculine. Okay, divine feminine. This is how they're going to become more dependable and trustworthy, and so is the connection. Divine feminine, what does divine feminine need to know? Taurus could be one of their top 3, or something really significant in their chart, so sun, moon, or rising, which is significant in their chart. Okay, divine feminine, temperance, moderation, balance, alchemy, Emperor at the bottom of the deck. I think divine feminine knows who she wants, as in characteristics and personality and values, right? But it's about allowing that space, time, justice. Again, this is coming up with the Empress again. Empress at the bottom of the deck. Can't make it up. Tarot and this. You're going to be getting divine, whoever this divine feminine is, she's going to be getting a justice. I think you are also currently dealing with some kind of paperwork, or you're going to be maybe I don't know, just legal stuff. Could be to do your work or something. Okay. Truth. You're going to get truth. That Seven of Swords. Wanting to harmony restored. You're going to get the truth. And that's where they're going to be more fairness and balance coming in. Because you haven't experienced fairness, feels like. My throat was getting weird then. That's weird. Maybe you haven't spoken your truth either. Maybe you were cut off from speaking your truth. No one could give you the chance. Remember that energy that was coming through before, just like going, vanishing. Virgo again at the bottom of the deck, the Hermit. Virgo again. Virgo is important. Earth is important, especially Virgo. Virgo in the autumn time. Something about now to next year is going to be big for both of you. You're both going to go through some kind of transformation. Okay, I think this is why there's a lot of soul searching taking place as well. Let's find out for your connection. What else do you need to know for your connection? Came straight out. Winter time. Okay, so within the next 6 to 9 months. But I think there's going to be. Let's find out your connection. What do you need to know for your connection moving forward? Yeah, it's developing. Oh my God, twin flames at the bottom of the deck. That confirms it then, because I did say with that True Love card that that's what it is. You're going through some serious, you're going through a serious cycle right now. And that is where you're going to be able to heal and finally close out whatever this karmic energy is that you've been, especially with this waterfall, don't forget, that's a release. You're doing it. You're doing amazing. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, so it's developing, especially wintertime. There could be something important about wintertime. Pisces energy as well. So your connection, what do you need to know about your connection? Marriage. Taurus again, the Hierophant. Oh my God, and that's a Fool. That's a whole new journey. Wow. Yeah, once you really get clear on your value system within and start acting accordingly. And again, this is leaders. You're both leaders. You're going to be creating something stable and enduring. That was coming through before as well. I was going to get another one for the Divine Masculine just because of that devil energy that was coming through. I want to make sure. Maybe this is something that they're going to work on, that addiction energy. Especially, truly delve into it as well. More than they have before. We've got the opposite. The Devil and the Lovers of the Dark and Light Tarot. To me anyway, the Lovers. So this is what's really driving them right now. They're seeing this more than their shadow. Their shadow is disintegrating because they're seeing this. Alignment, they're finding their alignment. Partnerships, love, openness. They're learning who and what isn't feeding this devil energy versus who and what is. Okay, and that's where that boomerang and red flag is going to come and test them. Oh my God. Another one for the Divine Feminine. That's really beautiful. That's where things have been stuck for a while. They're coming into their alignment. It's just taking them the time they need. It's their journey. They're actually paying attention this time, though. They're heeding that call, remember. That's why that red flag energy is going to come through to test them. So they need to pay attention with this. Now, okay. No way. This is what I was saying at the beginning. Expansion, turning point, growth, destiny, Jupiter, wheel of fortune, Divine Feminine, keep going. Whatever you're working on, keep going. This is helping you bring in your karma, your justice. This is why you need that moderation, because maybe this is where you're helping your Divine Masculine find that balance with their addiction energies. That's why you're being asked to moderate. Where are you feeling this pull? And is it temptation? Is it fear? Is it desire? Or is it actually just feels right? It's your alignment, and that's the direction you need to take. Because there's expansion coming for you. Especially you got the fall, Libra, Sagittarius, literally autumn and winter. Where it's definitely autumn. There's going to be big changes in autumn for you. Another one for your connection. Gosh. This is beautiful. Spring. The Emperor at the bottom of the deck again. He's going to be taking lead because this is springing into new beginnings, basically. That's what this is. So there's definitely a new beginning coming. And this is when this Emperor is going to come through, okay? Springtime is really important for you both as well. I'm seeing that Taurus energy. Maybe that's where the higher level commitment is going to ground more. It begins now with these next 3, I'm going to say 6 to 9, but maybe 3. Beginnings, rapid growth, fresh, fertile. Again, children was coming through before. Wow, really beautiful. I feel like I just want to keep getting more cards for this energy, but I think that's we'll get one more to see Message from divine masculine to divine feminine. Okay. Karmic ties, yeah. Number 5, I can't fully be there for you as long as this other person is in my life. I say maybe people as well. I know it's hard for you, but I have to go through these experiences in order to heal them. Divine feminine, divine masculine. So yeah, they're healing them. They are right now. I don't think it's just one person. I think it's multiple people. Okay. Number 2, whatever you just cleared, help me to shift to. Yeah. So this is what I mean by you're connected. So this is why this clearing that's taking place currently by the divine masculine, that it feels like, it's working beautifully because it's actually helping the divine feminine as well. Your connection, union energy. Number 6, our love will manifest through the union of heart and mind. I always talk about that. Expanding these areas allows our love to grow. Heart and mind connection, emotional intelligence. If that did come through as well, okay. Powerful, powerful message. Sending so much love. Look after you.